some US actions did target other areas of that stack. You may know what a Section 214 is. This is essentially approval to conduct communication service, not just physical network, in the US. It was originally designed to prevent against anti-competitive behavior, but increasingly it's used to protect what the US perceives as national security interests. And it's really affected the three large Chinese operators. China Mobile had an application pending forever. I think it was never approved, and it was finally withdrawn or denied in 2018. China Telecom had it approved, had it revoked in 2021, and China Unicom had its authority revoked in 2022. And by the way, if you think I'm just unfairly picking on my own country, some of the other slides that we had to remove talk about some of China's actions that are disturbing the submarine cable industry. But what does the Section 214 do? It adheres to law written way back in 1934 that controls what they call a common carrier status. Common carrier means that you can't have a generalized offering on standardized terms, but you can still have private carrier services. So the three Cs still operate in the US to a certain extent. And we're going to see how that's continuing on. But remember, we're looking at all measures of the OSI network stack. This was a Team Telecom procedure that denied an application to have an activated branching unit on the old Arcos cable to Cuba. And one odd thing that I simply don't understand is they rejected the physical network here, but they talked about the BGP layer as one reason, basically saying that adding this cable could allow for BGP hijack. Maybe there's a good reason for that. I don't fully understand, but I'm going to talk about, look at BGP connectivity, which essentially helps the internet network of networks, the different networks, to know where to go to send a call or to send a transmission. Now, if you would think that there was a severe disruption, the number of direct BGP adjacencies between a US-owned network and a Chinese-owned network would go down over time, right? That would make sense, but we have not seen that. Overall, Chinese ASNs, the number of direct adjacencies, they can go to hop directly to a US ASN, autonomous system number, which is basically an ISP. That's going up a lot over just the last few years. And look at the bottom number, the three Chinese carriers that no longer have Section 214s, it's not nearly as dramatic, but that's also gone up. All right, what about POPs? Have those gone down? These are circles that represent US carriers, their points of presence. The bigger the circle, the more POPs they have in a certain city. And this is scaled logarithmically. So for these blue dots, look, I'm going to go from 2019 to 2023. You would expect the blue dots in China, look at China, the blue dots are going to get smaller, right? Because US carriers are going to start withdrawing from having direct POP presence there. In fact, that has not happened. You can't really see it because this is a log scale, but the circles have actually gotten slightly larger. It's grown. All right, what about Chinese carriers in the United States? For these red dots, look at the US dots. 2019, 2023. It's gotten bigger. There's more presence of Chinese carriers in the US. So for this network presence test, you can see that Chinese-owned networks in the US, they grew 47% in just the last few years. US-owned networks, that's grown 55%, which is even faster than US networks have grown in the rest of the world. So in terms of points of presence, this myth is also busted. Finally, what about direct layer 3 links between the two countries? You can have points of presence in two different places, but you might have to trombone it on a layer 3 link through, say, London or some third party. So if there was a severe network disconnection, you would think this growth column would be in the negative. In fact, it's been strongly positive. The networks have actually grown in terms of layer 3.